Hello everyone, welcome back to Think Lab by Saurabh. So today we will understand the complete journey of generative AI from GAN to Transformer, BERT, GPT and large language model, and also we will cover the RAG multimodal AI and finally the AI agent, right? So you have ever wondered why AI suddenly becomes so powerful after 2022? So this video will answer that question, right? So by end of this video, you will understand how each innovation solved the limitation of the previous generation and the way of the today intelligent is AI system, right? So let's begin. The first one is the GAN, right? So the beginning of modern generative AI, so in 2014, like introduced the generative adversarial network, commonly known as the GAN. So GAN consists of two neural network. One is called generator, another one is called discriminator. So think of generator as the student trying to create a fake painting, right? And the discriminator act like our teacher tried to detect whether the painting is real or fake. So generator continuously improve to fool the discriminator, and discriminator continuously improve to detect the fake image. So this competition continue until the generator create the highly realistic image, right? So there are lots of applications this GAN, like AI generated faces, deep fake, super resolutions, image restoration, AI art. So however, GAN only work well for the image generation. So they could not understand the language. So researcher needed a completely different architecture, right? So the problem with RNN and LSTM, right? So now we are talking about the before transformer, natural language processing mainly dependent on the RNN and LSTM. So this model processed word one by one. So this created three major problems. First, training was slow. Second, they are struggle with the long document. And third one is they often forget the information earlier part of sentence. So researchers need a model that could process the all the words simultaneously. So this idea becomes the transformer, right? So if you check the transformer revolution, right? So the transformer revolution started in the year of 2017. So Google introduced the transformer architecture in the famous paper Attention is All You Need, right? So the biggest innovation was self-attention. So instead of reading one word at a time, the transformer look at every word together and it learn which word are important for understanding the sentence. For example, animal didn't cross the road because it was tried. So the model learned it referred to the animal. See, so this improved the language understanding. So transformer also introduced the multi-head attention, positional encoding, parallel processing. So this innovation made the training much faster than RNN. So today almost every modern LLM is built on the transformer architecture, right? So now we are moving to the BERT. So that will be the part of understanding language. So in year of 2018, so Google introduced the BERT. So full form of the BERT is the bidirectional encoder representation from the transformer, right? So unlike previous model BERT, read both left or right context, simultaneously. For example, I went to the bank. So BERT use the surrounding word to determine whether a bank means the financial institute or a river, right? So BERT becomes excellent for the search engine questioning the answer, text classification, and the name entry recognition. So however, BERT mainly understood the text. It doesn't design for generate long response. So led to this led to GPT, right? So GPT and large language model, right? Now we are talking to GPT and large language model. So OpenAI introduced GPT stand for the generative pre-trained transformer. So instead of understanding the text only, GPT predict the next word, in the repeated way. For example, the capital of France is. So model predict the Paris and also predict the next word. Okay, then the next word. So this process continue until an entire paragraph is generated. So this is the evolution was GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-3, GPT-5, GPT-4, GPT 3.5. So each generation increase model size, training data, reasoning ability, coding capability, context window, also the instruction following. So large language model are trained on the very big data set containing the books, that data set contain the books, research paper, website, documentation, and code. So after training, they develop the statistical knowledge of the language. They answer the question, write the code, summarize the document, translate the language, and assist with the many tasks. So however, LLM still have one major weakness. They cannot know the private or real information unless they provided during the inference, right? So this problem led to RAG, right? So RAG. So what is the RAG? So RAG is the retrieval augment generation. So RAG combine LLM with external knowledge. So instead of relying only on the training data, the system retrieved the relevant information before generating an answer. So the workflow is like document embedding model, vector database, similarity search, relevant context, LLM, and the final answer. So this reduce the hallucination and allow the organization to build the AI assistant using their own internal document. So RAG is widely used for the enterprise AI, customer support, healthcare, and finance and legal system. So now we are talking about the next evolution is multimodal AI. So modern AI is no longer limited to text. Today model generate the text, image, audio, video, document code. So this capability is called the multimodal AI. For example, you can upload an image, ask the model to explain it, or upload the document and ask to summarize, right? Provide the speech and receive the translated text. So this make the AI much more useful in the real world application, right? So now we are talking about the AI agent. So the largest evolution was the largest evolution is the AI agent. A chatbot only the answer the question, an AI agent perform the task. A typical AI agent contains, only the planner, memory, reasoning, like tool calling, browser code is executed, database. So instead of us answering the one prompt, the agent can plan a sequence of action. Search on web, write the code, execute the code, read the file, use the API, correct the mistake, and continue until the task is completed. So multiple AI agents are also they can collaborate, forming the multi-agent system where the specialized agent handle the planning, coding, testing, research, and reporting. So this represents the shift from conversational AI to autonomous AI. Okay. So now we are going to conclude this video. So let's quickly recap the journey. So GAN taught AI to generate the realistic image. Transformer transformer just understand the language processing with self attention mechanism, right? The BERT enabled a deep language understanding, right? GPT and LLM, brought together powerful text generation and reasoning. RAG connected AI to the external knowledge for the more accurate answer. Multimodal AI expand the understanding beyond the text to image, audio, and video. And AI agent added planning, memory tool on different autonomous task education, right? So the future of AI moving from predicting what to solve the real world problem autonomously, right? So if you found this video helpful, so please like, share, and subscribe the Think Lab by Saurabh. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.